Hey Simmers, it's Sarah here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. So today we are back in Sulani and we are building a beach house. And I kind of built this kind of thinking of it as a vacation house, which I'll talk about a little bit more later. But yeah, this is on a 30 by 20 lot in Sulani. And I just haven't really had a lot of inspiration as far as building goes lately. And I haven't really had anything at all that I've been building. So I did build this a couple weeks ago, but yeah, I've just been struggling with the inspiration, and so Sulani is my favorite world to build in, so I decided just to go back to Sulani and build something and see if I could get that inspiration flowing. And so this is basically the result of that, and as usual, this was inspired by a picture that I saw on Pinterest. So I'm going to go on and put that picture on the screen now where you guys can kind of see what I was going for, what I was trying to achieve with this house. But I do hope you guys like it. You can let me know what you think down below in the comments. But yeah, I'm just basically starting off with the shell of the house, of course. This isn't one of the waterfront lots in Sulani because I wanted to have a pool with this house. You can kind of see the water off to the side to the back of this house. But I wanted to have it on a normal lot so that I could have a pool with this lot. So that's basically the shell of the house. It's very, very simple. It's got 2 stories and there's a window of some form on every single wall of this house. So it's very bright and open, and yeah, it's a lot of windows. But I was following the inspiration photo and that's kind of how that looked. So I was trying to pretty much recreate that house. Sometimes when I use Pinterest, I'm just using it to kind of get inspiration, but then a lot of the times I'm just trying to recreate the house because I don't feel like I'm that creative, honestly. But yeah, with this one, I was really trying to kind of sort of recreate it. So right now I'm working on this little area kind of in the front of the house. You guys probably saw it on the inspiration photo, and the word for what this is called has just completely left my brain, and I have no idea what to call this, but hopefully you guys know what I'm talking about. But it was in the inspiration photo, so I'm kind of trying to work on this space. I did have to use the tool mod a lot for this little area, but as you can see, I built a room at first so that I could lay these planks down on the 2nd story. And I'm going to go back and delete that room in a little bit when I get everything in place. But it's just easier sometimes when you're placing something on the 2nd or the 3rd floor or anything like that to go on and put a room down so that you can actually place the objects, and then you can go back and use tool if you want to, but you don't have to deal with a bunch of moving objects up or whatever. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but I am going to delete that room here in a little bit when I get everything set straight and even. And as you guys can probably tell, I skipped a little bit of that footage just because it was really repetitive. But yeah, this is basically just a little kind of not covered area. Like I said, I cannot remember what it's called at all. So if you guys know, just let me know it down in the comments because I totally forgot what to call this little area. But yeah, I thought it was really cool, and I'm going to go back later and add some of the island living plants on top of it as well to kind of give it a little bit more character, I guess. Give it a little bit more earthy look to it, or beachy look, I guess, because we're on the beach. But yeah, I actually feel like this is kind of the back of the house, even though this is the house that I took the pictures from. The screenshots and stuff are from this side of the house. But to me, for some reason, this seems more like the back of the house. I guess because you normally wouldn't have a pool in the front yard. Maybe, I don't know. Like I said, I don't really know why, but I feel like this is the back of the house. So if you hear me say front or back, that's kind of what my mind is thinking, that this is the back. But it's really simple. It's not a lot to it. I've already put the pool in and the deck area. I didn't raise this house up on a foundation or anything. I just left it like it was because, to be honest, I don't like having to cover up the foundations later on. So I just left this one like it was. And now I'm just going to go on and start adding in the landscaping. And so if you've ever seen any of my island living builds or my Sulani builds, you guys probably have seen me landscape pretty much the same way in every single video. I don't know why I really, really struggle to landscape any other way than a kind of really natural look like you guys are seeing right now. I tried to do something a little bit different in the front. That's not something I would normally do, but I do go back and change that plant to a different kind of plant in a little while because I felt like that looked really weird. But yeah, I tried to do a little bit of different landscaping on a couple of areas of this house, so you guys can let me know what you think. I really want to get better at doing modern landscaping. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but a different kind of landscaping because I kind of just follow like the natural part of the world, like you guys can see around the lot. That's kind of what I do when I landscape in Sulani, or basically anywhere, to be honest. But yeah, I wish I could figure out how to landscape a little bit better or a little bit different in this world, but I don't know why I struggle with it for some reason. Anytime I try to do something different, I completely hate it in the end. So if you guys have any landscaping tips, be sure to let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. But yeah, this is basically just my go-to landscaping, and as you can see, I just added some plants up on top of that thing. And yeah, that's basically it for this backyard. I'm gonna add a little dining area here that you guys will see basically right now. It's very simple. It's just a table and like a grill and a couple of umbrellas, just because I thought that was cool and added a little bit of character. But that's basically it. Actually, it's not. I'm going to go back and add a tiki bar. I had completely forgot about that, but I do go back and add a tiki bar to like one of these sides of the houses just to fill up space and make it look like a little bit more lived in, I guess. Like not cluttered, but just make it look a little bit more natural. And I thought that would be a cool place for a tiki bar, especially like I said earlier, since I think I said it earlier. I'm honestly not sure, but I wanted this to be kind of like a vacation house or a rental. So yeah, I wanted it to have a bunch of different stuff that you would want to do if you were like renting, I guess. If you know, and a tiki bars are really cool. So I went on and added that because there is not a lot of space inside this house, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. Right now we're working on the front of the house. And so I decided to try something different with the landscaping, like I was telling you guys. So I wanted to add in kind of like a planter, I guess. So I wanted it to have like a circle, and I couldn't really come up with anything. I wanted to put like these palm trees in it, like you guys can see, it's already on the screen. But so I wanted to come up with something like that. So I decided to use this fountain, which it's in the fountain section, like the water decor. So I decided to use this fountain, and I kind of used the tool mod to shove it a little bit further into the ground so that you couldn't see the like water or the bottom of it. And so yeah, that was kind of like my little circular planters, and I'm honestly not sure how I feel about it. I had completely forgotten about those like grass circle planters that are in the debug menu that came with like the base game. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but I feel like they would have looked just as good and like totally natural, but for some reason I had forgotten about it, and so I decided just to go with this little fountain object. And so it does add like a little bit of contrast to the like rest of the landscaping, so maybe it looks okay. You guys can let me know what you think, but it was definitely different. I've never done anything exactly like that before, so I wasn't sure when I was looking at it at the end if it looked good or not. But yeah, that's basically the front yard. As you guys can see, I added like a few other decorations and stuff, but it's pretty simple for like the front of the house. Like I said, that's what I was considering to be the front of the house, so it's kind of simple compared to the back of the house. But I knew I was going to take pictures from the back, so I decided not to worry about it too much. I tried to add a little bit to it, but you know, I didn't worry about it too much. But now we are on to the interior of this house. So the interior of this house, this bottom floor that you guys are seeing right now, is the first floor. So it's got these two little diagonal rooms, and then like this one little, I'm going to call them hallways because they really weren't big enough to do anything but be a hallway. That's basically what I used those for on both of the floors, was just as a hallway. And so on the first floor, we have the kitchen and the living room and the bathroom. This house has 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, but as you guys can see, it's kind of oddly shaped. And so I had to figure out exactly where I was going to put the bathroom. And so it worked the best on this floor, but it's actually in the room with the living room. So this is the kitchen, and as you guys can tell, I'm kind of like playing around with these overhead cabinets again. If you guys have seen like any of my kitchen builds, you've probably seen me do this before, but I decided to use the overhead cabinets because I didn't really like any of the color cabinet, the swatches or whatever you call it, to use for the kitchen, because I wanted to have this really earthy wood tone, but I also wanted it to be really lightly colored, and I couldn't find anything that matched that. So I decided just to use this overhead kitchen cabinet trick. And just in case you guys don't know how to do this, or you have never seen that before, I'm going to try to explain it really quick, even though I'm really bad at explaining things. So basically you place your regular cabinets, and I'm using the tool mod, so I can't tell you, there's a lot of tricks on how to do it without the tool mod, but I find most things that I'm doing in this game easier with tools, so that's how I do it. But I go on and place the cabinets. I think you have to use the smallest tile one, like the shortest one, for the cabinets to still be functional. So I went on and used that, so you have to use 2 of them, and then I just use the tool mod to move them into place to where they're covering up the rest of the cabinet. And you can actually see the original cabinet area. And then I went on and used that same wooden plank that you guys have probably seen me use a million times. It's from the debug menu. I went on and used that to create this like hardware looking thing, like so it looks like handles. But yeah, if you have any questions about it, just let me know in the comments. Most of you guys have probably seen other simmers do that before. And I'm really bad at explaining stuff, like I said, but that's basically how I made this kitchen. I wanted it to have really lightly colored wood, but a kind of like a dark wood contrast. And I do go back in the very end and I change the color of that to, because right now it's like this really bright white, and I change it to a little bit more of like a creamy color. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I will change that like right before I finish with this build. I go back and change it because I felt like the rest of the house wasn't like as bright as the kitchen. But this is the living room bathroom area, so the way that I fit in the bathroom was I basically just created a line because this is a diagonal room, so it was a little bit difficult to fit a bathroom in this space, so I just kind of made a triangle like you guys can see. And yeah, the bathroom's really simple. There's not a lot to it at all. Really, the whole house is kind of simple. Like I said, I was decorating this for a vacation house or a rental, so it doesn't really have a very homey, like cozy, comfortable look, because I kind of had it like in mind it was more of like somewhere you would go and visit, so it would like look like a hotel room, I guess. I don't know if I'm explaining that well either, but yeah, there's not a whole lot of clutter or like personality with this house. It's very like clean, and like I said, maybe not exactly minimal, but it is very, very simple, I guess, on the interior, and it doesn't really look very homey. But this top floor is the 2 bedroom areas, and I ended up using like a ladder instead of a staircase because it took up less space and you don't really notice it. But everything is functional. I did play test this build. I have no idea when I'll have it up on the gallery, but like I said, everything is functional. When it goes up on the gallery, I'll put it in the description box. But this is the first bedroom. This is my favorite bedroom because I decided to go like try something new, and the other one's really simple. But in this one, I decided to make a custom headboard kind of thing. So as you can see, I'm placing these shelves right now. I've used the T.O.O.L mod already to kind of turn them around and manipulate them. But yeah, I placed these shelves, which is a base game shelf. I use it all the time. And then I'm using this thing from City Living, and I'm going to call it a divider. I always forget what it's actually called or what it's actually supposed to do. But to me, it looks like a room divider, so that's what I call it. But yeah, I basically used it. I kind of sized it down and made it really small. And it did have this like glitchy shadow effect on the ground. You guys can probably kind of see it. But I decided that it wasn't really that noticeable, and so I decided to leave it because I really liked the like headboard situation. So I decided just to leave it and not worry about the glitch. But yeah, that is this bedroom, and then I'm gonna add just like a simple dresser and like simple decorations. Like I said, nothing too cozy. But this bedroom actually has like a double bed. But it only has 1 bed. The other one, I went on and put 2 double beds in that room because it's a vacation rental, or that's how I was building it, so it made sense. And also it's kind of a big space for a bedroom, and I didn't really know how to fill this one up, so I decided just to go in and put 2 beds because I feel like that's something you would see in a rental house. So this is the second bedroom you guys are seeing right now. As you can see, I just placed the 2 beds down, and I kept the artwork in this house really simple as well. I think mostly I just used the like debug artwork that came with the Island Living, and then that one picture from Tiny Living that's got like the plant on it. I thought that was really cute. But yeah, everything in this house is really simple, like I said, because it's built to be more of a vacation house. And I've never actually built a rental house or a vacation house in Sulani before. I didn't realize you could do that until recently, and I think that's so cool that you can have like rental houses in other worlds, that it doesn't have to be a vacation world. So I decided to give it a go with this one because I love beach houses anyway. So definitely let me know what you guys think about this build. That's pretty much it for it. So I'm going to go on and end this voiceover, but I love hearing what you guys think. So let me know what you think of this build down below in the comments. Also, if you have any questions or suggestions, be sure to let me know. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all are doing really, really well. Bye!